Hi everybody, I wanted to try a little different video today here in light of the horrible Air India tragedy the other day, the 787-8 Dreamliner crash. I wanted to try an experiment. Everybody's talking about flaps or no flaps, engine loss of power or whatnot could have caused this horrible crash. We don't know. The videos are coming out. Of course, a lot of YouTubers are speculating, and a lot of people with great knowledge are speculating. And I am by no means the smartest pilot out there, nor the most knowledgeable on aviation accidents or certainly the Dreamliner. I have been a pilot for 35 years and a jet pilot for 25 years, flying biz jets of all different types, makes, and models. But I don't have any experience flying large heavies. I've flown a real 777 simulator before at Boeing, but that doesn't really count to give me a lot of knowledge, but it gives me some. All the corporate aircraft I fly, we do, of course, recurrent training every year or every 6 months in the sim and practice all kinds of emergencies. So I feel like I know something about this. Been a flight simmer forever, as most of you have as well. And just want to try a scenario here, try to imitate the conditions that existed that day in India. The airport used was Victor Alpha Alpha Hotel. I can't even pronounce the name, but it's Ahmedabad is one of the names. It's currently in live weather right now. If this was recreating the situation, which they certainly had, 102 Fahrenheit visibility, just 3 miles in smoke, which is typical for India, and a dew point of 72. So very, very hot and humid. So what I've done is taken the Bravo Airspace Dreamliner here, as you can see. A very nice model indeed. I do like their model. That's a whole separate subject, but a very accurate looking aircraft indeed. There it is. And I set the flaps at 5 for a hot field operation. We're at sea level basically, 200 feet. And I set the load for max. This is in Flightsim 2020, of course, for this aircraft. Set the load at max and came out with the following parameters. Flaps 5, 36 Celsius. I didn't even derate the takeoff thrust. I don't think they would in real life if it's this hot. Even though the runway is 11,000 feet long, I think we're limited to, I don't think we've used up all the runway we can most likely on this, so we wouldn't want to derate the thrust any more than the actual temperature. I threw in the trim number, runway 23 at flaps 5, 156, 161, 167. Our takeoff weight is 483,000 pounds, just a tad shy of the max of 500. We have 104,000 pounds of fuel on board, and it's a 3,700 mile trip back to London, I think. 3713, so very far. So that's a good long haul. Anyway, so there's the takeoff parameters, and once again, takeoff thrust is shown at 82% right there. So derated takeoff of 82. I don't know that you can go above that because that is matching the actual temp. So again, others can correct me certainly, and I hope they do, who know more about this stuff. And there's probably some other videos out there that have already done this, but I wanted to give it a shot here anyway. So there's that. Takeoff trim, CG22. If you pop that in, normally it gives you the trim number, and I'm not sure why today it is not, but it's been trim number 4 the last few days I've been flying it, so I'm going to put it back, or just in the green band, maybe like that. I'm not sure. I had some trouble getting this loaded the accurate way today. I'm not sure why. Kept flagging a couple things. Again, I don't know everything about the Dreamliner. If this is a very good simulation of it, that'd be fantastic. Maybe it's realistic enough, but I don't know. The jury's still out on how much quality the Bravo Airspace Dreamliner is. Other than it looks phenomenal, it's fun to hand fly, but I don't know any other information. But back at the accident at hand here, we'll go ahead and try the takeoff and do what I guessed they had done, perhaps. And I have no interest in letting the aircraft crash at all. I don't want to, so I hope that doesn't happen. My goal is to reach rotate and don't raise the gear, but raise the flaps all the way up by accident. Now in all the photos everybody sees, it looks like the flaps are not down. Well, I'm trying to get to a perspective that was shown from all the videos and pictures. It's certainly, from this angle, if you look at the videos and pictures, it sure looks like a clean wing. But it's not. When you go up to the wing, at this angle, the flaps are down there at 5. And you certainly see this edge of the rear end portion of the leading edge slat. So, and you can see them on the wings, they're down. Typically, and look at the back from the passenger view, it's very clean looking. I mean, you almost can't tell the difference between flaps 5 and up. But they're down at flaps 5, which is typical of a large airliner. But remember, these flaps go very far out in the wing. And, you know, just to show people that maybe aren't that familiar with this aircraft, but they go so far out. And so from the rear angles, it certainly looks like, as one solid piece, that the flaps are not even down. But they are. You can just see this. In some of the photos, they do clearly show the leading edge slat extended. So from a rear end camera angle from far away, I don't know that that really shows the flaps were not in the proper position. Again, a hot scenario, you want partial flaps in case you do lose one engine. Everything's predicated on a single engine climb that you can make it out alive just fine. So I think we have all that information in there now. Let's see if the go-around bar is not populating right now. Let's see, flight director on. And we're just going to try to go straight out. I'm not going to try anything other than dragging the flaps up and keeping the gear down at the wrong time. All right, auto throttle set for 235, what have you. And all right, we'll go ahead and try this takeoff and see what happens. Again, I do not want to crash. I want to recover from it by putting the flaps back down again if we get into a stall. So let's see. All right, here we go. I'm going to hold the brakes here for a second and bring that partial power up. I'll give it all the advantage that's possible here. All right, and here we go. Let's see. All right, power is set. It's actually a little higher than DTO. Airspeed's alive. 38 Celsius outside. We are through 100 knots. It's 11,000 foot runway, but at a full weight, this is going to take a little while. V1, VR. Let's rotate slowly. Here we go. Not to bang anything up. Alright, positive rate. We would call gear up, but he bangs all the flaps up. And here we go. Flaps are coming all up. It's just a suspected possibility. We're through 600 feet already. And we are climbing out really good. Oh, stall, stall, stall. Stall, stall, stall. There it goes. Alright, it's stalling. Flaps down, down, down. Flaps down. Not good. The results are very bad. And I'm going to stop it pretty much there just for all reasons. So that was very, very bad. Alright, I'm not willing to accentuate tragedies. As you can see, raising the flap suddenly in a heavy aircraft can indeed cause that problem. Let me go back for a second and try something else with you all. Actually, alright, let's see here. I would like to try that again. I let it go deep into a stall. I want to try the exact same thing. Runway 23. And try it once again. I want to see. I was pretty aggressive on the pull, so let's just see. Let's do a normal takeoff do the same thing again, and I'm not going to be that aggressive, but it definitely will stall. But it takes a few, not minutes, but it took longer than I thought for that to actually happen. Go up here and, oh, it's got live weather popped in again. I'm just going to undo the live weather and bring the temperature up to 100 again. Oh, it's 102 right now there. And the humidity increased to give it that brown hazy look. Okay, that's good there. And we'll go back to fuel and bring the payload back up to max pretty much. And we're right at max weight. I'm not too worried about the fuel because I don't really know what fuel level they even had. All right, and the V-speeds aren't in, but they were about 156. I don't want to waste too much of your time. We'll try this takeoff scenario once again. And here we go. We will try this time. Oh, let's go to 5, flaps 5 to be accurate. Suspected here. We'll do the same thing and try to recover this time. Alright, our rotate was just about there. Here we go. Normal takeoff. And flaps come up instead of the gear. And we're about 400 feet. Notice on the PFD, its stall speed is increasing rapidly now. It's approaching us. Down, down, nose down, flaps down, nose down. And I still have the gear down. But look at this. So even now, we've recovered. Even with the gear hanging down, we've made it safely over the buildings. So we did it. Then you could bring the flaps back to normal climb profile, get the gear up, and climb out. So you can undo a bad situation in any aircraft. So if you accidentally retract the flaps, punch them back in, and you can save the day. Now again, in real life, in a real scenario, you're busy, the flying captain does not know the co-pilot accidentally perhaps raised the flaps. You just hear a click, a lever movement, you're busy hand flying. It's hot, it's heavy out, heavily loaded, you're at peak concentration. Most people wouldn't notice that the flaps are inadvertently retracted. So to be able to program a mental ability to put them back in, I don't know. And at that point, they may have already stalled. Again, I may not have all the right parameters in here because I don't know exactly what was said on the aircraft. I'm not sure exactly in terms of performance numbers, power settings, and all that either. This is just a little experiment to see, can you put the flaps back in and save the day? The answer is yes, and most likely in the past, other tragic accidents have been avoided just by that. Well, I hope you learned something. Let me know what you think of this video, and anyone that has more knowledge on this type of thing, please write me back. Love to hear from you. Thanks. Have a good day.